Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody is having a beautiful morning this morning, and I hope that Trisha feels better. I'm so sorry this morning when I woke up to hear that she is not feeling well today. So, sending all of our love and good energy to Trisha so that she feels better. But in the meantime, it is going to be me and you guys this morning, and we're going to be freezing. It's really cold this morning, but as my sweatshirt says, we can face anything. So let's do this. Let's go ahead and start just by waking up your body. Whether you're in a seated position or laying down in bed still, just go ahead and open your arms up wide. Bring them back to the back and stretch them out big. Like you're going to go in for a big hug. Bring them forward all the way. Feel your muscles in the back stretching forward. Now come into the middle. Bring your hands all the way up to the sky. Clasp your fingers together. Rotate your arms so that your hands face all the way up. Stretch and hold that for about 5 seconds. Bring yourself down to the left. Feel that right side of your body stretching out. Bring yourself over to the right. Feel the left side of your body stretching out. Go back into the center. Bring your hands back down. And relax back into seating. So that way we can just kind of feel a little bit of a wake this morning before we get started. All right, so now I want you to kind of settle down into your chairs. Bring one hand onto your chest, one hand onto your stomach. And go ahead and find a nice, comfortable position. Let your breath return to normal, but inhale and exhaling through the nose, longer and deeper than what you normally do at your own pace. Deep breath in through the nose. Go ahead and let your eyes gently close or find a soft gaze. Breath back out through the mouth, actually through the nose. Let's keep it all through the nose this morning. Finding your pace, finding that breath. It's a very windy day today, so the wind outside is trying to provide its own breath into me this morning. And as we calm down, I just want to think about a conversation that I had with Kelly yesterday, actually. It was a really cold day, and we sat out on the balcony for our meditation. My shirt was short sleeve shirt, and Kelly was like, "Why are you wearing short sleeves in the cold weather?" And I was telling her that I can't imagine living up north where it is colder, and she said, "You can face anything if you have the right tools for it. If you have the right clothes, the right amount of layers, any amount of cold weather can be just fine." And that got me to thinking about problems and adversities that we can face in our lives. And it's really easy to just say, "Oh, you'll get through it. Just think positively." And sometimes positive thinking will not prevent hypothermia. It just can't happen. And the same is true for people that are dealing with chronic stress, chronic anxiety. It's really nice to think good thoughts, but also you need to have tools, the right tools, the right clothes to get you through so that you don't get cold. And there was a beautiful quote that I read this morning that I wanted to share with you guys about having the right tools. I'm not even going to try to pronounce the person's name, but he said, "It might not be the problem that's the problem. Rather, the problem might be the tool that I'm using to try to solve the problem." And I think that's really interesting because a lot of times we get into a rut of using the same tool over and over. whether it's resorting to avoiding a situation, or if it's acting out defensively, whatever that go-to tool is when we feel like we're being attacked, or if we feel like there's a situation that we can't handle and it's too much for us. Sometimes we need to grow in our tools and make sure that our tools are the proper ones for that situation. And sometimes we don't have those tools in our toolbox. Sometimes we have to reach out to a hardware store. We're going to stretch this analogy for a while. Reach out to a professional and borrow one of their tools. And that's okay. That doesn't mean that we can't get the job done. It just means that we need a little bit of assistance to get there. So I want you to reflect on your tools this morning. What do you have in your toolbox? And are you using your tools appropriately? And it's so fascinating. I was reading an article in Scientific American this morning about breathing techniques and how, dating back all the way to the beginning of time and thought, there's always been the notion in every society that breathing is one of the most effective tools you can have for anxiety reduction and for a longer life, longevity. And like Michelle was mentioning on Monday about the parasympathetic nerve, slowing your breathing intentionally helps stimulate that parasympathetic nerve and make you feel less stressed. And conversely, on the other end, the sympathetic nerve is what engages when you are in a flight or fight reaction mode and you feel stressed and your breath gets really shallow. That's your sympathetic nervous system that is reacting. And often what happens is when you stimulate that fight or flight sensation because you're in a situation like that, that shallow breathing actually makes it worse. So remembering to slow your breath, engage in those deep, long breaths is one of the best tools that you can have. That's just one tool in the toolbox. So I want you to think about all of the different beautiful tools that you possess. Each of us possess something different. What are the tools that you have that you can engage with, use to get through the different situations? Understanding that there's obviously a million different ways to handle situations, but you have tools within your toolbox that you can use. So think about those tools, have some gratitude for that this morning, that we have some of those at our disposal. And just remembering that not always the problem isn't always the problem. Sometimes it's the tool we use that's the problem. So remembering to treat people with kindness, treat yourself with kindness, wear sweaters if it's cold outside, be prepared to face the day. One more deep breath in through the nose. Deep breath out with a loud sigh. Go ahead and open your eyes. Good morning. Thank you for spending the morning with me. I hope everybody has a beautiful day, stays warm, and we'll see you guys again tomorrow. Bye, guys.